Employee, Tan, joins the company, and the trainer teaches him what is ERP and the specific process of ERP.
Hi, welcome to our team. Today, I want to teach you about what is ERP and its specific process. Do you know what is ERP?
I don't know what is ERP. So sorry about that.
Nothing. Now I will teach you about what is ERP and its specific process. ERP is Enterprise Resource Planning. It can manage organizations' day-to-day business activities such as finance, project management, manufacturing, accounting, procurement, and supply chain. Today I want to teach you about materials management, production planning, and sales and distribution. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, first, we see about material managements. Material management handled inventory, goods quantity, raw materials, manufactured goods, and materials that needed. Vendor master is a file, and it is important because it contains the information on a supplier required for purchasing any services and materials. The purchasing and accounting department will use it and maintain it primarily. We can see all the information that a company needs to manage about a material in Material Master. The data of Material Master is stored in a functional segment called Views. We can obtain purchasing information record through Material Master and Vendor Master, so that we can find which material held by which vendor and purchasing information record. In this record, it contains the data on pricing and conditions, available periods, tolerance limits for deliveries, specific lead times, last purchase order, and vendor evaluation data. This record can be created manually and automatically, such as quotation or purchase order. At first, any employee can raise a ticket to purchasing department to request a specific good or service for a specific time, and it will create an internal document. After the document has been created, the purchasing department will process a requisition for determine the appropriate source of supply. This requisition for the materials could be fulfilled by sources within the company, so that we can't simply buy the materials from the vendor. Source list is a record that shows how to get a material for a certain plant during a specific time, but if no source is set, the system will check the search records and outline agreements. So what is outline agreement? It is a requisition that can be fulfilled through existing long-term purchasing agreements. These agreements can subdivide into contracts and scheduling agreements. We should submit a request for quotation, RFQ, to the vendor if nothing exists in the system. RFQ invites vendors to submit bids for supplying materials or services to the purchasing organization. So, the whole process is purchasing request will be sent to the purchasing department, and it will generate an RFQ to vendor. Vendor will give a quotation to us for evaluation. After evaluation, we will choose the vendor who got the highest evaluation score and send the purchase order to the vendor. The other vendor that doesn't choose by us will give a reject letter.
So how can determine the vendor evaluation?
We can determine it in price, quality, and delivery. We should check the price level, price history, the goods receipt, complaints level, quality of audit, on-time delivery performance, and quantity reliability. After the vendor ships the item to us, we will receive the goods receipt. While we receive the goods receipt, we should check against purchase order and update the physical inventory. After the vendor ships the item to us, we will receive the goods receipt. While we receive the goods receipt, we should check against purchase order and update the physical inventory. This is all about materials management. Are you okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next I want to talk about production planning. Production planning involves various aspects, including forecasting demand and determining the raw materials, workforce, equipment, and steps necessary to produce the company's products. In Production Planning Master Data, it contains material, bill of materials, BOM, product group, work center, and routing. A bill of materials, BOM, is a source of information that includes a list of items and instructions that are needed to design or manufacture a product. It lists the finished product at first, followed by individual components and materials. Routing can help you to plan materials production and issue the production order, and it is also used for product costing. Work center is a functional area within a department. It can be a machine, a group of machines, a specific skill set, or a physical area where production occurs. Multiple machines or skills can exist within work centers. We should have a plan to the capacity of the work center. Work center also includes some resource-related data such as basic data, costing data, default data, capacity data, scheduling data, and personnel data. And now talk about the production planning processes. It contains forecasting, sales and operations planning, SOP, demand management, master production scheduling, MPS, and material requirement planning, MRP. First, we should forecast the sales demand for work center capacity planning. We should scale up or scale down the capacity depending on the market requirement, so we should do forecasting, but some of the political events, pandemic, or war will affect it, so the forecasts will not be too accurate. After forecasting, it will be going to sales and operations planning. Sales and operations planning, SOP, is a process that aligns demand, financial planning, and supply as part of a company's master plan. It helps executives make informed decisions to approve practical and profitable plans for materials and finances. When sales and operations planning moves to the next step, master production scheduling, it will go through demand management. Demand management involves planning the requirement quantities and dates for finished products and key assemblies. It also includes defining the strategy for planning, producing or procuring finished products. Demand management can be finished manually or based on previous planning results such as sales planning, SOP, and forecast. Master production scheduling, MPS, summary of what products are manufactured, when they are produced, and in what quantities. It helps companies differentiate between materials that significantly impact profit or use critical resources, and those that do not. Next, it will move to material requirement planning. Material requirement planning, MRP, calculates the net requirements while consider the stock in warehouse, and it will schedule the receipts from production and purchasing. It will generate a purchase order to display that there are not enough of materials, so we need to buy it from vendor. Production orders are used to control production operations and associated costs. It is defined by quantity, material produced, timeline, location, resources used, work involved, and how the costs are settled. After the production order is created, it will schedule it to calculate the capacity requirements and the production dates for all operations within an order. Next, it will check the availability about the components, production resource tools, or capacities in an order are available or not. After checking, it will generate an availability log to display the result. If the order has been released and it is ready, we can print shop floor documents and execute the goods movements and accept the order confirmation. We can monitor and track the progression of an order using confirmations. After accepting the confirmed quantity of output from the production order into stock, it will generate goods receipts. It will update the quantity in the stock and update the value of the stock, and the production order will be updated. This is about production planning. Do you understand it?
Yes, sir. Now I understand what production planning is.
Okay, good. Now I want to talk about sales and distribution. This is the last part today. I will talk about it, and it is also the next part of production planning. Do you need some rest?
No need, sir. I still can absorb new knowledge.
Fine, let's talk about it. Sales and distributions is a part that supports customers, starting from quotations and sales order, all the way toward billing the customer. In sales and distribution, master data is essential for efficient operations. Customer master data includes all the needed information for deliveries, processing orders, customer payments, and invoices. Every customer must have a master record, although one-time clients are possible. This data is created by the sales area, which includes the sales distribution channel, division, and organization. In sales and distribution, it also had master data, but it is about pricing. The condition of the master data includes prices, surcharges, discount, freights, and taxes. These conditions can be dependent on any document field. Based on the name, sales and distribution, what do you think what is the first step?
I think we just directly sell the product to the customer, right?
That's incorrect, because there is a risk. How did you know that your product will sell it good?
Oh, I see. I didn't expect the risk.
We must have a pre-sales activity first. These activities can include any process that you perform it and convert it to a lead or a prospect into a paying customer. The pre-sales activities include customer research, data analysis, lead qualification, and sales prospecting. We also needed to prepare pre-sales documents such as inquiries and quotations within the pre-sales activity. So, what is inquiry? Inquiry is a customer's request for information or quotation about the products or services. It will maintain in the system and it will create a quotation to solve the questions for the customer. Quotation is an estimated cost of the products or service that you are selling to the customer. It is a contact, and the customer can sue it if the promised terms are not met, and remember that all quotations have a time limit. If customers have placed the order, it will create a sales order documents that include the information of customer, material or service and quantity, pricing, the specific date that delivery, the information of shipping, and the billing information. The sales order also includes the delivery schedule, credit limit check, pricing, shipping point and route determination, availability check, and the requirements transfer to material requirement planning, MRP. When an order is created, should enter a requested delivery date for the order. It will send the delivery date for the final recipient and estimated receipt date to the Extend Warehouse Management System. During the creation of sales order, the system must determine the shipping point and the route. We also need to check the availability of the product to determine the material availability date. It considers all inward and outward of the inventory movement. Next is the pricing. The system will automatically search for the price and the discount, surcharges, and calculate the freight and taxes. We can modify it, the pricing and the quantity, but the taxes and freight is fixed, so we can't modify it. We should also check the credit of the customer, for reduces the risk of bad department. If the customer credit situation is not well, the system can configure to block the orders and deliveries. After we create the delivery document for the sales order, the shipping process will begin. This document will control, supports, and monitors the shipping process that contains picking, loading, packing, and post-goods issue. But before doing these things, we need to check the order and the materials to confirm if the delivery is possible or not. We should also confirm the availability, the requirements of export or foreign trade, determine the total weight and volume. Let's get back to the delivery document. I had said that it contains picking, loading, packing, and post-goods issue. At first, it will pick the item and what is the quantity should be picked in the warehouse based on the note, and it will assign a date when should it pick the item. After that, packing process will identifies that which packaging is to be used for the specified products, and identifies the type of packing and accounts or receiver that are associated with returnable packaging. Loading process tracks products that had been packed loaded into the shipping container, ensures the weight and volume are complied with the custom restriction rules. Finished goods issue is an event that indicates legal transfer of product ownership from the seller to the buyer. Goods issue results in a reduction of inventory and records the cost of goods sales. It will end the shipping process and update the status of the shipping documents. And last, it will create a billing document, we also called it as invoice, from the sales order and delivery document. This is used to generate the customer invoice and update the customer's credit status. The payment will create a posting that will clears the liability in the A/R account and increases the bank account balance. This is the end of...
Yes, sir, I'm clear. Thanks for your teaching.
Keep up this attitude. The future of this company depends on you.
Yes, sir.